Hello, hello. Back again. I promised a few people that I'm going to do a video on their right to travel and to prove to you guys that you have the right to travel anywhere in the United States unencumbered, without a license, or paying any fee for a license. I think you've seen many videos all over the internet of epic fails where people tried to do this. And sadly, because they didn't follow procedure, they were correct in that they have that right. However, they didn't follow the procedure correctly, and the hammer came down. And that's too bad. It really is. So I'm going to prove it to you today. I'm going to prove it. And so in case you happen to talk to somebody and you mention this and they say, man, you're an idiot, da, 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 da. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you the wording in the Constitution and withstanding Supreme Court cases that support this. Withstanding. That means not overturned. To this date. Okay, so this is pretty cool. All right, so the right to travel freely and unencumbered. That's basically what this video is about. Let's start with the Constitution. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. It says it in the Constitution, right? So, okay, the Constitution's great, right? But, you know, what matters as far as how you can get remedy as a citizen is by what the Supreme Court has decided according to the Constitution, right? Even they can't go against the Constitution, okay? And they don't. Almost never. 16th Amendment, I don't know if they had anything to do with that, but that's unconstitutional. But anyway. So the Supreme Court, the Constitution is the Supreme Court, the supreme law of the land, and the Supreme Court has said this in Marbury versus Madison. I think it was 1803. The case concluded that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Okay? Secondly, free to travel. You are free to travel throughout the United States. Shapiro versus Thompson. What did they state? Listen to this. The purpose of inhibiting migration by needy persons into a state is constitutionally impermissible. All citizens are free to travel throughout the United States uninhibited by statutes, rules, or regulations which unreasonably burden or restrict this movement. If a law has no other purpose than to chill assertions of constitutional rights by penalizing those who choose to execute them, it is patently unconstitutional. Okay? So you have the right to travel. So let's talk about this, okay? I have the right to travel, right? But, you know, I have to get a license, right? I have to. Everybody has a license, right? And they pay a fee and they get a license and then they're cool, right? Well, let's find out. Shapiro versus Thompson. This is a Supreme Court case withstanding. You are free to travel throughout the United States. That was the decision. Now, if you look at Murdoch versus the state of Pennsylvania, what was that decision? No right shall be converted into a privilege, and a license issued and a fee for that license. It's unconstitutional. Against a Supreme Court decision said so. Murdoch versus the state of Pennsylvania. So, let's say they just do it anyway. Okay, you're not the first one that would have run into that. Okay, Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham, Alabama. If they do it anyway, you can ignore it with impunity. You can continue to do it. Ignore it with impunity. So you have to understand that they just can't do that. If you let them do it, don't know your rights, then they're going to do it. If you don't know your rights, you don't have any rights. Right? That's just the baseline communication I want to keep hitting home here. If you do not comprehend a right, you don't have it. You can't defend something you don't understand or know. I'm sorry, but come on, that's logistically preposterous. Is it not? It really is. So, it goes further here. Boyd versus the United States. That decision. The court is to protect against any encroachment of any constitutionally secured liberties. Right? So it's saying they can't do it. And then lastly, I didn't write down the Supreme Court case, but this last one reads as, an unconstitutional act is not law. It confers no rights, it imposes no duties, affords no protections, it creates no office. It is in legal contemplation as inoperative as if it had never been passed. So you can see, I've got the whole list right here, starting with it. It shows you right there. How can you get in trouble for following the Constitution and long-standing, withstanding Supreme Court decisions? You can't, can you? Well, you can't if you act correctly and go through the correct procedure. Courts of law are not about the law, they're about procedure, administrative procedure. Let's say the judge or whoever says, well, that's your interpretation. You say, that's right, sir, it is my interpretation. And according to 16th Am Jurisprudence 2nd, Section 97, it is to be interpreted in my favor. Why? Because I am the beneficiary. I am the clearly intended and expressly designated beneficiary of the Constitution. Plain and simple. And so I hope this helps you guys realize that this is real. This is absolutely real. Have I done a lot of research? You better believe it. A lot. To be able to comprehend this stuff. But it gets way easier as you go along. And I've mentioned in other videos before this. According to the enabling clause of every constitution, if you will, or passing along of laws, today's law cannot abridge laws in the past. They can only delineate or strengthen the laws that are already there. Everything from before is brought forward and made stronger or delineated in the people's favor. It's all in writing, all in Supreme Court cases. So you have to realize what's really going on here, and you really, really should. It's fun. It's fun to learn this stuff and realize that, wow, I actually am the clearly intended and expressly designated beneficiary of the Constitution for the protection of my rights and property. That's what the Constitution is for, to protect your rights. It doesn't give you any. You already have those. As soon as you popped out of your mom, you had them. So do some research, guys. If you have any questions, if you want me to be more specific, in case you want to try this. Now, understand, police officers don't know what's going on. Lawyers don't know what's going on, really, unless they've read the case files. They don't, and they don't care. It's procedure. Nobody knows procedure. No common citizen knows procedure, so they lose. They get a lawyer, which you've lost already, right? Almost guaranteed loss, especially when you're defending yourself. Other than if you're going against another living person, that's completely different. You might need a lawyer for that, okay? You might not. So yeah, guys, read your Constitution, read the Bill of Rights. As far as the Constitution, focus on Article 5 through was it Article 4 through 7, and also read the Bill of Rights, the amendments, and focus on pretty much all of those. Those are super important. And if you can get through the nomenclature of the language, which is not easy, it proves to you. It proves to you. You have all the power. The only thing that can take away your power is if you do something fundamentally wrong, right? Against natural law. That's how the document was set up. And of course, it was accompanied by many concepts from ancient societies, and it's a wonderful document. It is. It's not perfect. It isn't. And frankly, it's all written in fraud. If you really want to know the truth, but it doesn't matter. Everybody's operating in this fraud language anyway, even the courts. And so, as I've said before, this is a really great way to, get out of being screwed by someone that doesn't even know they're screwing you. They think they're in their right mind and within their rights or privileges to do this to you. It's your job and your duty to learn why that isn't so and how to present it. And if you do, you win. And I can tell you this, if you happen to have an issue with a traffic ticket, and you go in, and I can go into further of what you should say, something to the effect of, I don't really want to get into that because it's it's a little bit more advanced, but they basically have not stated a cause of action for which relief can be granted. So, do your research, learn. You'll thank yourself later on. All right, give me some questions, guys. I hope this helped. I'm no pro at these videos, as you know, so sorry for that. Ask me questions. Get your lawyer buddies, judges, whoever. Have them make a comment. Really. They're members of the bar. They probably don't want to be. I'm sure they don't want to be chained down by the Bar Association, but they are. And, that's the way it is. Judges, they know what's going on. I think they get a cut of, what actual currencies are invested, if you will, or paid, not really paid, but that are discharged with the federal notes from the state or taxes to pay for your imprisonment. They get a cut of that. Okay, that's my understanding of it. They're private corporations. A courthouse is a foreign corporate vessel that's in dry dock on your land. That's what it is. And they want to get you in there. And if you don't know what you're doing when you go in there, you are screwed. If you know what you're doing when you go in there, they're very impressed. Very impressed. Because you know what? They don't expect you, a non-licensed attorney, to have any brains at all. Absolutely none. When you walk in there, they are literally looking at you as the town idiot. I don't care if you're an accountant or a millionaire, or it doesn't matter. If you don't comprehend the system and the logistics of the system, you lose every time. And of course they're going to feel that way. Is anybody taking the time to learn? No. Is it easy? No. All right, guys, that's all I got. Take care. Appreciate you watching, like and subscribe and all that stuff. I'll see you soon.